Nan Whaley. Nan is the mayor of Dayton, Ohio, and a fellow New Deal leader, and she's here to talk to us about her guest editorial on planning for childcare as we phase reopening after COVID and when it's safe to reopen. So Nan, welcome to my kitchen to talk about what's cooking.
I'm so excited, Val, to be invited to your kitchen. Only during COVID would we learn how to use this Zoom so well that we could have these conversations. I've talked to more people outside of Dayton during this time than ever before because of the technology. So it's great to be with you.
Thank you.
I'm really excited about the work that we've been doing and trying to advocate around childcare. Dayton was one of 20 cities really in the country that invested in high quality preschool for all of its 4-year-olds through a local income tax. And so one of those issues that I've paid great attention to is just childcare in general, particularly the first 1,000 days, and how we can make sure that we provide that opportunity for everybody. One of the challenges we see here in Ohio and across the country is people are talking about how they want to reopen the economy, and there's not any discussion about where we put our kids. And I find this pretty frustrating because what I notice that women do is they figure it out, and they have been not only had to figure out how to keep working while the kids were home, but then how to keep working without childcare. And that's particularly hard for our frontline workers who don't have the opportunity like you and I do to get to work from our computer screen, but have to go in, you know, those people working at our grocery stores, at our places that are now opening. The cost of childcare has become exorbitant and really not out of reach. And if they can even find it, we've seen many of these childcare facilities just not be able to open in these COVID times. And so if we're serious about this and we're serious about our economy, we're serious about equality in the workplace, we need to provide some serious resources around childcare.
That's right. And like you said, high quality childcare here in Lane County, we have the Birth to 3 program and have actually invested in high quality childcare, working with the Service Employees Union and other nonprofits and the United Way, so that people who are doing the work can get paid a living wage.
Right.
And people who need childcare can find it, especially low-income workers, childcare that's affordable and safe, because that investment pays lifelong dividends. And I think you're right. When you have women in office, you know, that's what happens when you have people in office that are reflective of the population. We just had, with our most recent House appointment, we now have over 50% of our representatives in the House are women. And that's reflected in the policies that we bring forward. And I know in terms of the work that you're doing, sort of managing the city with COVID, what's a day like for the mayor of Dayton?
Well, they're different every day. I think that's why I like to do this work. Typically in the morning, I start really early by doing walking my dog Louie and doing yoga with Adrian, which is online. I highly recommend it. It's COVID secure, you know, so that's what I've been doing. As you know, we were not really able to go to gyms, and really have fallen in love with it, and do that every morning. So no matter what, that's how I start my day. And then the day is filled with a lot of calls, frankly, and you have to be very intentional in your connection now. It used to be I just go to a coffee shop downtown or in a neighborhood, be able to meet 5 or 6 people, get all these things done just by running into folks, and those collisions aren't happening during this crisis. And so that makes you have to really think and reach out and be intentional in who you're reaching out to. And so that's what most of my day is spent, is, you know, on calls or in these meetings that are now virtual. So, but you have to be careful too, right? You can end up just sitting at your desk for 10, 12 hours, never moving, because everything just comes to your computer screen and it doesn't ever stop. So it's definitely a weird way to work. I'll look forward, and like everyone, can't wait till the vaccination comes so we can you know, go back to some sense of normalcy and hugging. I really miss hugging.
Yes.
Those are the things that matter for me. But I do think that this will change the way that a lot of people work, for sure. And, you know, I think it will change travel in a pretty intense way. So we will never be exactly the way we were pre-COVID, but I look forward to a post-COVID world.
Right. And like you said, understanding that not everybody has to be at their desk to do their work. And I think that it's expanded opportunities. So, and one of the opportunities that I've found is I'm talking to friends, not only throughout Oregon, throughout the country, throughout the world, is that we've been sharing recipes because as we're home,
Right.
we're eating our own food. Sharing food is sharing culture and sharing information. So you have a recipe to share with us today.
I do. And one of the things I've done through COVID is make sure that I pick one new meal a week to try to cook something new, because I'm not, not home very much. And so this whole cooking thing for me and my husband is like a new arena. So it's been fun for us. But the one I want to share with you is very simple. Dayton is in Ohio, but we do love bourbon, and we're, just a couple hours away from Kentucky. And my family loves it as well. So I like to make mint-infused simple syrup, and you can use it for both mint juleps, or you can use it for make your tea sweet, if you're doing sun tea in the summer. And so it's very easy. You just take, it's a 2-to-1 way, so 2 cups of sugar for every 1 cup of water, so very high calories here, Val. And you put it on your stove to just make sure the sugar is dissolved. You low cook it, you don't boil it, but slow cook it until it's all dissolved, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And then after that is done, you let it simmer for 5 minutes more, take it off, take your mint from your garden. Mint grows like a weed in my part of the country. Take a bunch of it, put it in the pot, and let it steep for 20 minutes. And that is the best simple syrup, mint infused simple syrup. You can't beat it, and it's easy to do.
That is amazing. Well, we have some mint in our garden, and by garden I mean yard,
right?
Overrun with weeds. And so I'm going to try this weekend. Thank you so much for taking the time. I miss seeing you, and it is wonderful to see you via Zoom. And again, for highlighting the important issue of childcare. That investment, again, will pay dividends for a lifetime.
Hey, thanks for doing this, and thanks for asking me on, Val. It's so good to see you.
All right, take care. Want to see more What's Cooking with Val? Make sure to subscribe to our page by clicking the link.